Welcome to Boxing Capital, boxing business, and everything behind the punches. I'm Tay.
I'm Sammy.
And we got a little bit to talk about this week. We got some good action this weekend. Alycia Baumgarnder made it into the ring. We got some good upcoming fights that we want to preview, not just talking Spence and Crawford. And then, of course, we're always going to get into this week's Sammy Says. But first, let's go to Showtime and talk about the lackluster performance that Frank Martin gave us. Frank Martin, if you guys don't know, is an up-and-coming 135-pounder. He's making a lot of noise in the prospect, as a prospect in 135. People see him being in the ring, being in the league, the likes of Tank Shakur Haney. After last night's performance, there's doubts as to if and when that will happen. But he is where he is. So what did you think about what you saw last night?
My first time seeing Frank Martin fight. First time, I heard a little about him, read it from you. And hearing him fighting last night, people talk a whole lot about his fight. But before I go into the Frank Martin fight, there was a fight before the Frank Martin fight.
Mm-hmm.
Garcia,
Elvis Rodriguez versus Victor Postol.
Rodriguez. Yes, that fight was a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
A lot better than the main event.
Mm-hmm.
Rodriguez trained a wild card. Trained by Freddie. Freddie trained Postol before. After the trained Postol, sent Postol move and started fighting. Started fighting in the United States. All his fights he had here, he had been trained by Freddie, and so it was a good thing, Freddie being the guy who treated both fighters, were able to say, okay, I will work with one and let someone else work with the Ukrainian. Let Ukrainians work with him, which was a good move and everything. But I'll say it was a economic move, which was either way, because Postol on his way out, right? Elvis, he is I think he's going to be one of the guys within that weight class that will cause some noise. Mm-hmm. He was with Top Ring, and Top Ring let him go. Why? I don't know. I think it was a stupid move, but
he's Dominican.
Yeah,
isn't he supposed to be their prized possession?
Yeah, but I think he Hispanic. And I don't know why they let him go, because he a good fighter. The kid he got one loss. Which the loss, I think he got lazy. He was being this kid knocking everybody out and stuff like that. He got lazy on that day, and he got and he lost that fight. But the Postol fight, I told everyone, I said, look, for 4 rounds, it's going to be okay. It's going to be even. And then Elvis going to take Postol out, because Elvis is a slow starter. Mm-hmm. He started real slow. Yeah. I don't know why, but it's something somebody need to get to him and get it out of his head. He need to start. That's how he lost the last fight.
Yeah.
He started slow, and the guy built up so much momentum that he couldn't crack.
Yeah.
So.
What's the difference between starting slow and collecting data? Like Tank starts slow, but we interpret that as him collecting data. Lomachenko, same sort of thing.
Starting slow and collecting data are two different things. You see, Tank starts slow, but his momentum is always the same.
What do you mean?
That's not starting slow. Meaning he's there, he's moving, he's watching everything you're doing. You're not hitting him, but every time he lands, he is marking his territory, marking where he's going to aim at to take you out.
Mm-hmm.
And when he have taken enough, have touched you enough to make sure that he has the markings accurate, he explodes and hit the same points and get a knockout. And so that's different because his momentum never changed. He is not like he started the next round and start real fast and stuff. He started the same. He'll be just as slow till he get to that point he's ready to take you out. And he go boom, 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 boom. And the fight's over. Starting slow is where what Elvis does. He starts slow. He coming out one point at a time. He landing these one jabs and stuff. When he figure you out before you really start jabbing and the momentum picks up.
Mm-hmm.
So he don't stay in the same momentum. He don't come in, have figured you out, and then come in with 2, 3, 4 shots to take you out or to break you down to a point where you really not functional.
Mm-hmm.
That's not him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference between starting slow and collecting data.
Mm-hmm.
You see, Lomachenko, when he starts slow and do all of this stuff, you watch his fight, it's the same momentum. He do that side stepping stuff and do the same thing again and again and again and again. And if the person can't stand the pressure, he end up taking them out or going the distance to where he win unanimously.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference for me. If that make any sense to what I'm trying to say, but then we go to the Frank Martin. Frank Martin. I mean, I never seen him fight, but before the fight, everything that was said about him, I would say it's similar to the Ryan Garcia. Okay, oh, he's good and blah, 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 blah. He's the next upcoming this, upcoming that, and I'm calling out everybody and all of this stuff. After that performance last night, he need to shut up.
Oh, Jesus.
No. He called out.
Can you not just have an off night as a boxer? You don't think that was just an off night?
No. You can have an off night. But knowing that you were getting ready for an elimination bout for the title, all right? As a smart fighter, you would take care of yourself as much as possible not to have that kind of an off night. But it was not an off night. He fought an awkward fighter, a fighter that was okay fighter, not a great fighter, but awkward, and he couldn't figure him out.
Yeah.
That's why his night was off. The guy in front of him made his night the way it was, and he said because he was off. No, I don't believe that.
Yeah, I agree. I think Artem, the Armenian, I'm not even going to attempt the last name, Artem H. He was very, like you said, a little bit awkward, not that awkward, but very methodical. Just very, very busy, like very technical, very European.
Yes.
Like very European. You can tell, like, I don't know if he had a lot of amateur fights, but I'd put my money on that he had a lot of amateur fights. But he just, it was very, he's a fighter that if you don't show up your best, he will expose you. And that's That's
And
exactly what happened to Frank
yep.
Martin. So yeah, it was a lackluster performance, and like you said, I couldn't tell. I've seen Frank Martin fight. My first real major impression was him versus Michel Rivera, but I never really thought Michel Rivera is that great. So obviously he's in the conversations of being sort of in the contender elite status in 135. Obviously 135 is one of the best divisions right now in boxing
Yeah.
with with a lot of the stars and talent in the division. So when people you have Derek James in your corner, you have Errol Spence as your promoter sort
Yeah.
of, and you have a lot of buzz and cloud around you.
Yep.
You're on a main event. This was really only the major fight on Saturday night, so all boxing fans are in a way watching you. You have to show up. You
Yep.
you have to show up, and I don't think he did. And so I definitely have doubts as to his capabilities at that elite level. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say maybe okay, it was an off night. But like I said, my first impression of him was his last fight versus Michel Rivera, and this fight was one I couldn't tell if he was starting slow or collecting data. But as the fight went on, and listening to Derek James in his corner, he was just starting slow. Like he just
Yeah.
was not punching. He was not,
The
you
trainer
know,
was frustrated.
very frustrated, not listening. I don't. It's just like he was just like high. I don't know.
No,
Like
I don't think he was high.
he wasn't high, but I'm just
The
saying
man
he
in
was
front
just
of
like
him.
he was just like out of it, like just very like nonchalant and yeah, just no sense of urgency. I'm not saying Frank Martin was on
Yeah.
drugs. I'm not saying that at all.
No.
But that's just like just the super like I'm not gonna accuse a man of being on drugs. It's just he was just very like lackadaisical, very methodical. And maybe he just thought the name and hype around him would get him the victory, and he didn't really have to do much.
I think
It was not a good performance.
that could have been part of it too. I think that
Yeah.
he thinking, okay, I got all this weight behind me. You know, I got all the heavy hitters behind me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can pull this thing off no matter how I carry it. But I think just showing from what his trainer frustration, trying to push him, wake him up to do whatsoever. It was, I believe, James, Mr. Derek James, right?
Yeah.
He saw that the fighter he's fighting was not that great of a fighter, but he just had his boy number. His boy could not punch a way out of a wet paper bag till the guy in front of him got tired.
Yeah.
When the guy got tired, because I don't think he had that much of a push in Germany, and he got tired, and you know that's the only time Martin was able to do anything.
Yeah, yeah. When Frank Martin, pushed the envelope, brought the fight to him, was actually aggressive, throwing punches. He was dominating. Literally, there's some points where I was like, he could get him out of here, get him out of here in this round. But I don't know. For some reason, he's not doing that, or he wasn't doing that. And I think maybe, I don't know if he's trying to box smart, whatever that means for some boxers, or, attempting to thinking his ring IQ will find him that one punch to get the guy out of there. But I don't think that's his style. Like, you're not Tank. You're not
he's
a
not
Shakur.
a one punch.
Like, I
he's
feel
not
like
a one punch knockout artist.
no, yeah, I think his superpower is his activity and aggressiveness and bringing the fight to his opponents. So, he's a good counterpuncher. Having said all that, but I think again his superpower, especially if he wants to fight the elite guys, is
calling all these guys out. He needs to stop.
Yeah.
He need look for me to give him that lift. Let him have a couple more fights and actually prove himself. He not fighting Shakur Stevenson. Shakur will sweep the floor with him. Tank would knock him out. Even Hayden will give him a run for his money. He'll go lose to Hayden one-sided.
Probably.
Because look, seeing judging from that fight last night, he got to show me more.
Yeah.
And he will add, look, you the main event on a major card, and you come out there and load like a boo-boo. No.
Yeah. If you're the main event and your fight isn't the best fight of the night, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Totally a problem. What did you think of the scores?
I think the scores suck. They,
It was 114, 113, and then 114 or 15 to 112.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, so I say the fight was a draw. If anything, because of the last 2 rounds, the way he took the last 2 rounds after the guy got tired, those rounds were not a 2-point round. There was an 8-9 round, both of them. Like I was saying, you should know better. You're saying that she should align herself with all these other great stuff, which is all good. All right? She has a promotional deal with some other promoter, the one that promotes in Detroit. Okay? She has a manager thing. She got all this stuff lined up. That's fine. I don't know if she with the Zoom or PBC or whatsoever, but she has a promoter, the guy that promoted her in Detroit the last time when she fought. I think that's a promoter.
Yeah.
They can't align her with other big name card and stuff like that. But her problem is herself. She is her own bad promoter. She's her own bad publication. No, seriously. Because the thing about it is that when you want to get on these cards with these guys and on this show with these people, you can't start talking about how great you are than them. Okay? I'm the GOAT. I'm better than this person. I'm better than this person. I'm the woman that have done all of this stuff. When if you had to come down to it, when we actually measure it by quantity, you don't have that many women in the world for you to become the GOAT. Yes, in that way class.
Well, she says
you can become the GOAT.
She's the G-Woke, greatest woman of all time. So
yeah.
She is.
Oh yes. Oh, no. That I agree with all of the stuff she's trying to promote herself, but I think I might have overheard heard it wrong or what. She's trying to compare herself to Mayweather and trying to compare herself to this person, to that person. No, you are not at that level. One.
It's not relative.
Why?
Because you have to base it off of the opportunity she's had and the chance, like the I don't know, the amount of fights that are available to her.
Okay, that's the same thing I'm saying. You don't have that many women within the world that are fighting. Look, you are the GOAT in your arena because of the limited amount of people you have to face.
It's not her fault.
No. It's not her fault, but don't make it to be something that you can rub in other people's face and try to diminish their status.
Well, okay. Well, I hope she's not doing that. I've never seen her, say try to diminish, I don't know, Floyd's record or another guy's record. But if that's the case, it's not. I agree. That's not fair, and it's not beneficial to.
It's not beneficial to her.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. I'm better than some of these guys and blah 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 blah. No, you're not.
She's better than some of the guys. Maybe not the elites.
Not the elite one.
She can still say I'm better than a lot of these guys.
Yeah, a lot of the guys that she's trying to compare herself with, she's not. That's the problem. That's her problem. Look, the thing about it, being humble, in a way, it takes people a long way. You just have to know how to carry yourself.
Right.
You don't have to be an idiot about your talent
Mm-hmm.
for people to notice you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm trying to say to her.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be an idiot about your talent for people to notice you. Sometimes the less you say about your talent and the more you can prove by performing it, give people a better understanding of you and a greater respect than being a blah blah mouth.
Well, do you think she would have gotten the recognition if she didn't speak out? Do you know? Do you not think that in a way it's indirectly
Yes.
brought her more eyes to the sport or more eyes to her? It's like, okay, maybe she doesn't care if people like her or not, but bad attention is still attention.
Yeah, bad attention still attention for a short while.
Mm.
For a short while. No, seriously. Look, the girl, you think people voted for her because for the SP because of her loud mouth? No. They voted for her because of her accomplishment in the sport of boxing as an amateur.
And a pro, come on, that obviously
Yeah,
played into it.
okay.
She's undisputed.
As an amateur and a
like
pro,
so many
yes,
divisions.
but mostly because of her accomplishment of her as an amateur. And when it comes to the pros, those men that she was that she was nominated with had done a lot more than her.
None of them. Only Devin Haney has
Okay.
a belt. None of the other guys have belts.
Okay, none of the other guys have belts, but all those other guys that don't have belts have had more fights than her in the pros.
Well, yeah.
They have more fights than her because of the amount of people, because of the amount of people that.
But the first fight she had was literally versus, I think, Franchon Cruz, I think, for a belt. So, sure, those guys have had more fights, but come on, half of Tank's, record is bums. Half of Shakur's record coming up, bums. Haney, half of them are bums. So, at the end, if you want to get real, they have the same amount of fights.
No.
Yes, they do.
No,
they have the same amount of fights.
They don't have.
Clarissa Shields has what?
Okay,
15,
Clarissa
16?
Shields. Okay,
They're
how?
all-
What
they
were
were
the age?
all-
What were the age of the woman she fought?
It doesn't
for
matter the
the
age
bump?
because it doesn't matter the age.
That's your for the belt. Yeah, it does matter.
It doesn't matter
this
the. I
is a
mean, they were
physical
like
sport.
30s, maybe.
They were in
30s.
their 30s, and she was what? In her 20s.
Yes, young.
Okay.
But women, like
Tell
you said,
me-
they don't
tell me.
have a lot of fights. So yes, they may
Yes.
be older, 35, and also
Yeah.
women peak later in
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Women's peak is around 28, 29
Yeah,
physically.
Okay.
So a 35 of
A 35 that
5-year-old
had 4 fights.
exactly.
And became
That's
became
young.
a champion.
That's young.
Yeah, okay. A
That
35
doesn't
that
count.
had 4 fights and became a world champion compared to a man that had 20 fights to become a world champion. That is a very big a learning curve than someone who had their 4 fights to become a world champion, because you don't have that many good fighters within the women arena. I understand all of this. So that comparison of her having the same amount of fights, no. I don't care. These guys fought guys from the bar that were half drunk. They still have more fights than her. Okay?
Sure.
And the woman,
I know it's like
it
I'm
is
just
just
saying
about
it's relativity. It's
Yeah.
relativity. Like
No.
we're trying to compare apples to oranges.
No. Yeah, I understand all that is, but what I'm trying to, my advice to the girl is that, look, you don't have to be a blah blah mouth for people to notice you.
Mm.
No, seriously.
Well, it's worked. She won
look.
the SB.
Yeah, she won an SP. That's fine. Tomorrow you become a licensed lawyer and stuff like that. Are you going to stay at the corner, street corner, yelling, "Oh, I'm Tay, I'm a lawyer, and I can do this for you, I can do that for you"? No. It is what you do will make you have more people to come running to your door for you to represent them and do what you have to do as a lawyer to help those people. You're not going to stand at the street corner for a sign, "I'm a lawyer." You're not going to do that. It's your performance. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm trying to say to her. Look, leave the blah blah mouth home. Mm-hmm. Perform. Do what you do the best. Mm-hmm. And let the world talk about you. You don't have to blow your own horn.
Right. So you just, long story short, humility for her, you think, will go a long way. Yeah, a longer way.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I mean, so. Look, even though she's a younger person and all of that, maybe that the new thing for the young people, you gotta be either on a TikTok or you gotta be blah blah anytime you go, and you gotta be going to a fight dressed like you're going to the strip club and stuff like that. No, seriously. When she fought the last time, she had all these girls behind her. They all look like a bunch of hoochies coming from a strip club. Why all of that attention? Don't beg for the thing. Don't beg for attention when you are clever and when you're that good of an athlete. Mm-hmm. You don't beg for attention. Mm-hmm. Attention comes just by doing what you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, look, we got into it last time. I think you're right. Humility for her will go a long way. Maybe that'll come with age. Maybe that'll come when she accomplishes a little bit more and feels like she gets the respect that she deserves. Maybe that SB is what this is for her. Maybe she can shut up and just let it. No, it's not gonna happen. It's gotta.
I think got that wrong. Yeah, because of the kind of person she is. That SB she's gonna be singing more kumbaya than she's gonna be singing more kumbaya.
Well, we'll see. I like it, Clarissa Shields. Keep doing your thing.
I hope. Yeah, look, yeah. Do you just be a little bit more humble? Just be a little bit more humble. Trust me, it would take you a long way. I'm from Africa. I'm here. Look, if I were a big blah blah mouth, I wouldn't know some of the people I know today. I wouldn't be to where I am today, or even sitting here talking to her. Because I don't think if she went to Wildcard and saw me looking like a freaking idiot, she would have talked to me and even asked me to work with her. So look, just be yourself. Don't try to play because other people expect you to just to be flaunting yourself. Or no, you don't need that. You are a gifted person as a fighter. You got very good intelligence when it comes to being a fighter. Just let that play for you. And trust me, Clarissa, you will see a lot, you will benefit a lot more from that than, I don't know, but it's just me. That's just me. That's just me.
Yeah. Well, let's get into this week's Sammy Says. Yes. What does Sammy have to say about this boxing MMA crossover that is happening? So obviously Jake Paul's fighting Nate Diaz, but the big news, which shocked me, is that Tyson Fury is fighting Francis Ngannou. I don't know how to say it. The big African from UFC. Cameroon. Yeah. Anyway,
that's Ngannou. Is he fighting Ngannou or someone else?
Him, I think. I can't say. I don't know his last name, but it's Francis something. Francis N. He is fighting Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is fighting him. I think sometime in October. You're not fighting Usyk.
No,
you're gonna go fight this MMA guy.
You're not fighting. because I believe Tyson Fury, he's I don't know. He gotta be a little, how you call it? I don't know. I don't know. He's not schizophrenic. He gotta be a little. Oh, seriously, he got some low mental problem.
He's a little weird.
Yeah,
Well, he's a little weird.
because the thing is, why you want to fight Iguano? What are you trying to prove? That you're big and strong? And to tell you the truth, I hope they fight as MMA and not
It's boxing.
pull the crap that.
It's boxing.
No. I if I were the Iguana people, I would say, you want to fight me? Let's do it as an MMA fight.
Well,
Let's
it's
do
boxing,
it as an MMA
and
fight.
he wanted to box.
No, because it's the same thing that Mayweather pulled. He fought an MMA person and wanted it to be a boxing match. Why you want, if you're trying to prove that you are so much of a superior fighter all the way around, fight the man as his discipline.
No boxer is ever gonna do that, and I also wouldn't want to see that unless that
Yeah,
person
it's
is trained.
It's
Unless
stupid.
trained like significant years in martial arts. Like martial arts incorporates boxing, so it just makes more sense for an MMA fighter to box because you already do it.
No,
Not to that level, but
no,
it's a part of the
no.
skill of MMA.
No, yes, but if you want to fight me,
Well, you're not gonna get paid because I'm not gonna fight you.
Fight me at MMA. No, then go fight somebody else.
Francis has been calling out Tyson Fury and calling out, fighting heavyweights in boxing for a very long time. So this is his doing. This is what he wants to do.
All right.
He's felt like he hasn't gotten.
Tyson Fury needs to fight another boxer. I think, for mine saying about that, I believe is a joke. And boxing, whosoever promoting this is Eddie Hearn or whosoever.
It's Top Rank.
Okay, Top Rank promoting this. Top Rank is just making
money.
a mockery of the game.
It's
because,
money.
Because it's a bullcrap. It's a joke. It's completely a joke. Why would you don't want to fight Usyk. You don't want to fight Wilder. Fight Wilder again. If you that desperate to fight somebody that you think is easy because you say you can beat Wilder whenever you can, because I believe Wilder beat himself in that last fight.
Mm-hmm.
Wilder beat himself in that last fight.
Mm-hmm.
If Wilder would have just listened and stopped trying to throw every punch like he's trying to break down the house and really just jab you, Wilder would have beaten him to the jabbing contest. Because Wilder had his whole rip or red by the end of the third round. Mm-hmm. But Wilder just believed in this Alabama or Oklahoma, whatever he come from, country strength. You got to go in there and just act like a big giant to win instead of fighting smart. If Wilder had fought smart, he beat Tyson Fury in that fight. Tyson Fury should get off his high horse and stop talking about fighting Ngannou and fight Deontay again. And I bet you this time Deontay will knock him out. Because I believe Deontay had actually gotten a trainer that is training him to really box. If he just can listen and stop trying to throw every punch like a home run.
Yeah. Well, the fight's happening, Sammy.
I know it's happening, but I think it's bullshit.
Yeah, it is. And that just baffles me. Like, literally, how much money is on the line? Like, I don't know. I try to think of myself.
I don't think Ngannou is making that much money. He's going to be paid more than what MMA pay him. But he is not making that much money to fight Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury...
He's going to be making millions of dollars.
Yeah, he making look.
And then there's gonna be a lot of money on the.
I don't think Iguana gonna be making anything over $5 million. I don't believe that.
I think I read somewhere that
And I think Tyson Fury will be making about 15 to $20 million for this fight, for going and fighting a guy who has no boxing ability.
Someone said, I mean, there's been rumors that it's around 8 million, but people are saying they think
Iguano is not making anything more than $5 million. Top Rank ain't gonna pay him anything more than $5 million. Not for him fighting.
And Jake Paul tweeted Francis got 8 figures, not 8 million. So at least 10 million.
No, he ain't got no $10 million. He ain't got no $10 million. Jake Paul talking from the side of his mouth, cause Jake Paul don't know what the man making. Jake Paul is not a promoter. He don't know what the hell
he technically is a promoter. Jake Paul. Jake Paul is a promoter.
The promoter of the.
No, not this fight. Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
He is not the one promoting the fight, so he shouldn't go there and start talking from the side of his mouth.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so bad.
It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace because Floyd Mayweather made Jake Paul a household name for boxing. Logan, now he thinks he know boxing.
He fought his brother Logan, and then it really started with Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, it started this whole bull crap of this thing. The influential bullshit came up too.
Yeah. Oh man, well,
it's a disgrace to the game of boxing. You got a bunch of idiot, everybody and their grandmother that don't know how to spell fight and want to fight.
Yeah, dude, I'm really losing respect for Tyson Fury because it's just like you have so many opponents, i.e. Usyk.
Because Tyson Fury is a gypsy, a bunch of con artists.
Yeah, all he cares about is, the fattest paycheck. He literally avoided Usyk to fight Derek Chisora of all people for like the third time. Like, come on, Derek Chisora, like you're gonna win. It's not even a good fight. And then you're like ducking Usyk. And you're hiding behind your contracts, giving him ridiculous terms and stuff, saying, I tried.
Yeah, but you're going to fight Iguana.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, ridiculous. He needs to vacate his belts.
You will not fight Usyk, but you'll fight Iguana.
They need to really vacate his belts.
Not even vacate his belt. They are boxing, whosoever belt he's holding, need to strip him of the damn belt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, take the belt away.
But they're not. I think they've already confirmed that they're not.
Because they are all a bunch of chicken shit.
Yeah, because they want to, if he does come back, they want a piece of the pie.
Yeah,
it's just like, if I was the head of the WBC or whatever, I would be so strict.
That's why boxers.
I would be so strict.
That's why boxers need to have a union.
Yeah.
Boxing is the only known sports, professional sports in the world, especially in America, that has no union. And nobody talk about it. Nobody has any problem with it. Mm-hmm. Little League Baseball got a union.
Yeah.
But boxing don't.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. Yeah, they really need to strip him of his belts. Really.
Little League Baseball got a union. But boxing don't.
He's not fighting anyone. But
he ain't fighting nobody. Someone holding a belt for 3 years but don't want to fight anybody or don't want to defend the belt because, my contract and this, that. I don't want to fight this person because I try and do that. No.
Or I want $1 billion.
Yeah. These so-called boxing belts that, because, look, you and I could start a franchise of a belt. Seriously, it's not that difficult. No, it is not that difficult. You get 2 drug addicts sitting down somewhere to come up with a belt. Oh yeah, and all of a sudden they're sanctioning people to wear that belt. Your belt is not that important. You can take that scrap and stick it on your wall. Mm-hmm. All by yourself. Let's see. And Manny Pacquiao prove it. Even Mayweather prove it. the belt don't mean jack crap.
Not anymore.
Without the fighter, the belt don't mean shit.
Mm-hmm. But they could make it mean something.
Shakur Stevenson could fight all his fight, make millions. I mean, Manny Pacquiao fought for $10, $15 million for 10-round fights. Not even world title fights. 10-round fights. That go to tell you the goddamn belt don't mean shit. People only wear that belt just because. Oh yeah, carrying some kind of a crap on your shoulder, because not one of those belts that they all won. They can take tomorrow and go to the pawn shop and pawn it for $100,000.
Well, yeah. The point is that it was supposed to be a symbol of pride and mean something, but no.
But now ain't no more pride in it because the belt don't mean jack crap. You and I go start a sanctioning body and start and say, look, it is the Tay, Sammy, trophy. You win the trophy, you win $10 million. And the trophy itself, just by itself, it made out of gold and diamond that you can pawn tomorrow for $1 million. That would worth something more than that crap more than that belt.
Well, yeah.
The fighter make the belt, not the belt that make the fighter.
Well, I don't know. I feel like WBC, all these sanctioning bodies are kind of losing their grip on power by just letting people have these belts for years at a time and not fight anybody.
No, they're not fighting nobody.
The Charlos.
I mean, yeah, you having belt and had not fought for a year. Why you holding up other people? Then they're coming up with all these other dumb or continental belt, and you fighting elimination bout for a belt. What all of this bull crap? Back in the 60s, the 30s and the 50s, people didn't fight elimination bout. They fought for the belt, or they didn't fight for the belt. You are not eliminating anybody for the belt. Right. Your elimination of getting to the title shot was beating the guy ahead of you in line to that belt.
Right.
You beat him, you become number 1, he become number 29 or 30. Right. And you become number 1. And the next person that champion going to fight is you, the number 1 contender. Mm-hmm. They are not going to bypass you by me coming and say, okay, since you're the number 1 contender, I will pay you $1 million for you to step aside because I want John Brown, who is number 55, that can't fight for shit, to fight this guy because we want him to hold the belt for a longer time.
Right.
No, nobody will agree to that.
No.
And that's the bullcrap that goes on today.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does. I mean, it's just a marketing ploy. It's just how these sanctioning bodies can make as much money, be a part of, mega fights, get a cut of the money.
Yeah, ridiculous. Let the fighters fight. Some of these boys, these men, have been doing this thing for years. From the time they were kids, they are looking to wear some kind of a crown and wanting to be respectful for what they do. But you got Usyk not fighting Fury fighting Ngannou. Ngannou already a world champion at his discipline. He wants to fight a world champion boxer. Let him get in line and do it the right way. Become a boxer, get a boxing license, go through the game like everybody else to get to that heavyweight title. Don't come from being an MMA heavyweight champion into fighting for a heavyweight title as a boxer, which you are not going to win.
Well, he's not fighting for the title. It's just a mega fight to just put on.
Okay, if you're not fighting for the title, Tyson Fury should give up the belt before that fight happens.
Exactly.
Say he can't fight who is in line for the belt because you're making difficult or agreement, and you and your promoter coming up with all the dumbest excuse in the world not to fight him.
Yeah.
Give up the belt.
Yeah.
You
They
can
gotta
go.
put a timeline.
You can go fight someone from the bush of Thailand. I don't know how to scratch his toes to fight you. It's your business. Just give up the belt.
You're holding everybody else up. If I was, any of these sanctioning bodies, I would put a deadline on it. I'll be like, you know what, if you want to fight,
no,
Francis,
they do have a deadline on it.
But I would say I would put a hard deadline by the end of the year. If you do not fight Usyk, you are not getting your belts back.
You are the man is the number one contender.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you don't sit there and tell me how much you should get paid. Look, if your promoter want to pay you $1 billion, that's his business.
Mm-hmm.
But the man should fight for the belt.
Right.
Period. The man your promoter can give you $1 billion. This man want to fight for the belt, and you're gonna pay him the equivalent. If your promoter choose to pay you $1 billion, give the man 3/4 of the same amount of money your promoter choose to pay you to fight him, or else give up your right to the belt. Let him fight somebody else for the belt.
Exactly.
Simple as that.
It's that simple. Exactly.
Because it's bullcrap.
Yeah, well, it's all started with Floyd and Conor, and Jake Paul's doing this weird crossover thing. He says he wants to be a real boxer, but he's fighting all these MMA guys. So again, another mockery.
Fighting up on your bums.
Yeah, so I think he's fighting Nate Diaz. That's supposed to be pay-per-view. That is something I'm not buying. And I know I was just baffled. I couldn't believe it.
It is so bad. The entertainment of fighting, the entertainment of boxing is so bad that idiots can come up with anything and call it fighting. Jake Paul, I want to be a real boxer, and making the pay-per-view. For what?
Yeah.
Who buying this thing?
Be like everybody else. Be on the undercard of something. Fight a real boxer. Maybe that has a terrible record, but come on. And then, look, I'm not mad at if Tyson Fury wants to fight Francis. Go ahead, but
give up the belt.
Exactly. That's simple.
Give up your right to the belt. Usyk can fight somebody else.
Yeah.
For that belt, anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Who is a boxer?
Exactly. But yeah, I think that's it for today. We hit a lot of stuff. Frank Martin, Baumgarnder, Shields, and now we pissed Sammy off with this week's Sammy Says. But it's been good seeing you guys again. Again, like, follow, share, hit us up. Let us know what you want us to do next, talk about next. We're open to suggestions. Keep growing. We appreciate the listens. So this has been Boxing Capital. I'm Tay.
I'm Sammy.
Peace. Peace.